to break that down because I do remember. It's just so funny that we talked so early on in your journey here. But even let's go to that moment where. So you guys met at Startup Weekend.
Yep.
Did you decide it to pitch like? Because Startup Weekend, you're deciding ideas to pitch and then try to build that weekend.
Yep.
Was that the idea that you decided to pitch at that event?
That was the idea. So I went there. I came out of like an MBA class where I was doing a logistics presentation. I was like, I should probably present this to a Startup Weekend, see if it even sticks. And did so, and I was one of the 10 finalists, and then we eventually were the 5 finalists or something like that. But then out of that, we spent about 6 months just meeting on Tuesdays, thinking around on it. So that idea came in there with just like a logistics idea, a problem that I knew about, and then Matt and me kind of came out with an actual business plan a few months later.
And so walk me through how you went from, because I think a lot of people do the dinking around for twice a week for 6 months. What process did you go through to go from like, we're just kind of have this idea to like, man, we have actually a real strong idea and a prototype or whatever?
Okay, boy, that's an interesting question. I mean, I think like all startup, we're all looking for data at that point. And so, I think I now call it like startup drunk, but at the time it might just been idea drunk. Like you're just like drunk on this idea, and like you need a lot of like accountability with people that are sober, that don't know much about the idea, that are learning it for the first time. So we went to a bunch of people, and you were one of them. I would say probably one of about 15 different people, from lawyers to other CEOs that we know, collecting like, hey, what do you think? What have you heard? Based on what you know is the idea. And eventually, about 6 months later, we had kind of refined the idea enough, and we were hearing from people that had been there and done that, saying, you need to quit your job and just start this thing. Go in.
Well, what's interesting is some people. And a lot of early founders, or first-time founders, struggle with, they just don't want to tell anyone their idea.
Oh man!
And I think you basically went the opposite and
told everybody.
And it's awesome. I think that's great. I remember talking to you, and I was like, man, these guys are you're throwing it out to people and seeing what they grab onto. And I think that's really key to actually test knowledgeable people in the tech industry that think you're onto something or that might not work, rather than like hold it in and then not tell anyone and think you're secret, take a year to build something and then it just fails, right?
I'm shocked how many people are scared to share their idea. I think actually eventually, as I was telling more and more people, it kind of hurt because I'd heard from one person, I know somebody that tried that 2 years ago. I think by the end of my journey, I think I've heard of about 18 different companies that have tried to do the Uber for truck. And that's, ideas are not even, they're not even worth a penny. They're worth nothing. Now it's very clear to me it's all about execution. So you shouldn't be afraid to share your ideas, because you're not going to be able to do it by yourself in the first place. So if you think if you think you are a one-man show, you're completely drunk. But you definitely got the beer goggles on.